If I had to start over with a new business today, here are the 5 exact business ideas that I would start in 2026. Business number 5 is content repurposing service. Here is what it is. You take someone's long-form content, their YouTube videos, their podcasts or webinars, and you turn that into short clips for TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, carousel posts for LinkedIn. Now, why does this work? Because most creators spend over 10 hours making one piece of content and then they just post it once. They never touch it again. But that one video could become 20 different pieces of content across different platforms. The problem is, editing takes forever. Most creators don't have the time to do it themselves. That's the service that you can offer. The cost to start is low. You can use AI video repurposing tools like Opus Clip or Descript. The effort level is medium. You need a creative eye, you need to understand how content performs on different platforms. For example, a TikTok video is different from a LinkedIn post, right? You need to learn those differences. And who actually pays for this? Content creators, coaches, course creators, people that are building personal brands. Anyone who is creating content but doesn't have the time to repurpose it. The beauty of this business is that you're not creating content from scratch. You're just reformatting what already exists. But what if you want something completely different? Then I'm gonna talk about business idea number 4, local service businesses. So I'm talking about window cleaning, trash removal, junk hauling, lawn care, power washing. I know what you're thinking, that sounds boring. And you're right, it is boring. But boring businesses actually make money. Here is why this works. The people running these businesses right now are aging out. They're retiring. There is a massive generational transfer happening. Thousands of business owners retire every single day. Most of them run these exact types of businesses. Young people don't want to do this work. Younger people want to be influencers or start tech companies, and that means less competition for you. And here's the smart way to start. You don't need to buy the equipment first. You can pre-sell the service. Let's say you want to start a window cleaning business. You post in your local Facebook group or on the Nextdoor app. You say, I'm starting a better service in your area. If you're interested, here's a link to pre-order. You use something simple to build a landing page, connect it to Stripe, and get people to commit with a deposit for the first month payment. Once you have enough pre-sales to justify buying equipment, then you buy it, not before. Cost to start is low if you do it this way. Effort is medium. It's physical work. You're actually doing the service. But the business model is simple. People need their trash picked up. They need their lawn mowed. It's not complicated. Now, who pays for this? Homeowners, small businesses, property managers, people who need the service done consistently. And here, you're not trying to compete with the big national companies. You're the local option. You are more responsive. You actually answer your phone. And wait until you see business number 1 in my video. It's boring as hell, but people are making a living with it. More on that in a few minutes. And I also wanted to know, are you team physical business or team digital service? Comment physical or digital. I want to see where everyone's head is at. But now, if you want something less physical but more technical, let's talk about business idea number 3, business automation and systems setup. So this business is helping other businesses automate their workflows and set up their systems. Most small businesses are running on chaos. They're using 10 different tools that don't talk to each other. They're doing everything manually. They're forgetting to follow up with customers. They're losing money because their systems are broken. You become the person who fixes that. And what are you actually automating? Email sequences, appointment booking, customer follow-ups, invoice generation, lead tracking, all the stuff that should happen automatically, but it doesn't. And why does this work? Because most small business owners built their operations 5, 10, 15 years ago. They're still doing things the old way. They know that there is a better way, but they don't have the time to figure it out. So you can figure it out for them. The cost to start is medium. You need to learn the tools that they already use or maybe suggest a better solution. And many clients will use tools like Zapier, Make.com, various CRMs and automation platforms. The effort is medium, you're not coding from scratch, you're just connecting existing tools together. It's like digital plumbing. You're making sure that everything flows where it should. Who usually pays for this service? Small to mid-sized businesses. Dentist offices, law firms, real estate agents, local retailers, anyone who is drowning in manual tasks. Here's an example. A dentist's office has someone manually calling every patient to confirm their appointment. That takes hours every week. You set up an automated text reminder system. Appointments get confirmed automatically. The staff saves 10 hours per week. That's worth paying for. Now, here is what happens when you start landing these clients. You start getting emails from different clients scattered across your inbox. You are missing follow-ups because you forgot to write them down. You might be manually creating invoices in Google Docs and chasing people for payment. You're going back and forth trying to schedule calls. You're trying to remember what you promised each client. Where are your proposals? Some are in Google Docs, some are in your email drafts. You can be great at the actual service that you're providing, but if you cannot manage clients properly, you will lose them. That's where I usually recommend looking at High Level. This platform can solve the problem for you and even for your clients. It's basically an operating system for service businesses. Here's what it actually does. First, it's a CRM. Every client conversation is kept in one place, so no more digging through your old emails. Second, you can set up automations in High Level. You set up follow-up sequences once and they run automatically. You never forget to check in with the client. The system does it for you. Then you also can do all invoicing here. Connect with a payment provider like Stripe, for example, and then you can create invoice templates and send them with one click. Clients can pay directly through the system. Next, scheduling. You connect your calendar, clients book their own calls, and they see your availability. They pick a time, it goes on both calendars automatically, no back and forth, and you can also build proposal templates here. When you need to send one, you fill in the client's name and details, one click, and it's sent. They can accept it digitally. Everything is tracked. And a very important point here is that High Level is white labeled. So you can put your own branding on everything, your logo, your colors, your domain name. To the client, it looks like you build custom software. You can even create your branded app on High Level. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. You can create your website on High Level using some of their beautiful templates. And when someone fills out your contact form, they're automatically added to High Level. They get a welcome email with a calendar link. They book a time. Both calendars update automatically. They get reminders 24 hours before and 1 hour before. You have the call, it goes well. You send your proposal template, one click. They receive it, review it, and accept it digitally. An invoice is generated automatically. They sign it and pay through the system. Then the onboarding sequence starts automatically. Welcome email, client portal access, next step instructions, all of it. You set it up once and it runs forever. This is what separates people stuck at 2 to 3 clients from people that are scaling to 10, 15 or hundreds of clients. The system handles operations. You focus on delivery. I'll put a link to the High Level in the description. They have a trial that you can test out with your first few clients. All right, let me show you the other two business ideas. Business idea number 2 is perfect if you like talking to people, and number 1 is perfect if you never want to talk to anyone. Let me explain. So, business idea number 2 is lead generation service. Here is what this is. You find potential customers for businesses and you set up meetings for them. Every business needs customers. Most business owners don't have the time to do outreach themselves. They're busy running the business. So what would be your work? You research and identify potential customers for your client. Let's say your client is a web design agency. You find businesses with terrible websites, you make a list, then you reach out. Email, LinkedIn messages, cold calls. You're not selling the service yet, you're just starting a conversation. Something like, hey, I noticed your website, I work with a design agency that specializes in your industry. Would you be open to a quick call to see if there is a fit? Some people say yes. You qualify them. Do they have the budget? Do they have authority to make decisions? Are they actually interested? If they check the boxes, you book a meeting between them and your client. Your client takes the meeting and closes the deal. You get paid either per lead or on a monthly retainer. Some people do both, retainer for the ongoing work, bonus for leads that turn into customers. The effort is medium. You need to understand copywriting, your outreach messages need to be good because most people don't respond to the first message. So you need to follow up 3, 4, 5 times without being annoying. Who pays for this? Service-based businesses, lawyers, accountants, consultants, marketing agencies, software companies, anyone who needs a steady flow of new customers. And here's a tip for you. Look for businesses that are already running ads. If they're spending money on Facebook ads or Google ads, they have a budget for lead generation. They understand the value of new customers. Now, the next one might sound boring, but boring businesses can be very profitable. So it's called compliance and documentation services. You help businesses stay compliant with regulations and keep proper documentation. And why does this work? Because regulations are getting more complex. Penalties are getting bigger, and most business owners have no idea what they're supposed to be doing. What are you helping them with? Well, GDPR compliance if they have customers in Europe, HIPAA compliance if they are in healthcare, SOC 2 compliance if they are a tech company trying to sell to enterprises, data privacy policies, employee handbooks, safety documentation. Now, here's why this matters. One violation can shut down a business. The fines are massive. A GDPR violation can cost up to 4% of annual revenue. An HIPAA violation can be $50,000 per incident. But even beyond the fines, there is always the business impact. Big companies will not buy from you if you are not compliant. This is non-negotiable spending. Businesses have to do this. It's not optional. The cost to start this business for you is low to medium. This is mostly knowledge-based. You need to study the regulations. You need to understand what's required. But you don't need expensive tools or equipment. The effort is high, you need to learn the stuff, and it's not exciting. It's reading legal documents and regulatory frameworks. But that's exactly why most people don't do it. And that's why you can charge well for it. Now, who pays for this? Of course, growing businesses that need to level up their operations, startups that are getting bigger and need to get their house in order, established businesses that have been ignoring this stuff and finally got scared into taking it seriously. Here is an example of how this works. A medical practice is handling patient data. They're supposed to be HIPAA compliant. but they're storing patient information in regular Google Docs. They're emailing patient information without encryption. They're violating HIPAA in about 10 different ways, and they don't even know it. You do an audit. You show them everything that they're doing wrong. You have them fix it. You set up proper systems. You train the staff. You document everything. And now they're compliant. They're protected from fines. They can sleep at night knowing that they're not going to get shut down. That's the value that you're providing. So you've seen all the business ideas today, but here is how you can actually pick one. Commit to at least 90 days and see how it goes. And if you want to learn about the best AI business ideas that you can start this year, then check my video linked up there. I'll see you in the next one.